Hast, wie findet du? So today we are looking at verbs. I want to start this video by saying I really appreciate all you guys that have been interested in this. I'm aware that a number of you are coming from a linguistic background. Some of you have said that you're involved in universities. I'm not a linguist. I'm not a language teacher. I'm just a native person trying to put my language on record for other people because there seems to be a lack of resources around it. So I know you guys are going to want to potentially ask me, how do I know if a verb is strong or weak? I don't know. I can't answer that sort of technical questions about my language because I don't understand that myself. I dropped out of modern languages in secondary school, so I don't understand the intricacies of grammar. All I can do is teach you what I was taught, which is I was taught this particular word came with this set of endings. I was taught that particular word came with that set of endings. I know enough about my grammar to know that if I see a feminine ending on a noun, then I've got to have a particular ending on a verb. Everything else I learnt by rote. I'm really, really sorry. I don't know how to technically tell by looking at a verb if it's strong or weak. I just know by rote that it is strong or weak. I do plan, hopefully, at some point in the future to get a dictionary out of all the words I know. And I'm thinking of organising it not just alphabetically, but also in chunks. So there'll be a chunk for nouns, there'll be a chunk for strong verbs, there'll be a chunk for weak verbs, and they'll be alphabetized within that. I'll probably do the nouns in like masculine, feminine, neuter chunks. Just because that's, if I was wanting a dictionary, that's how I would want to be able to look at it. If that's a resource that you guys would be interested in, then I would probably need to crowdsource it because I doubt I'll be able to get a publisher on board to publish a dictionary of such a, on death's doorstep language. So if you are interested in that, please do leave a comment. I mean, I'm going to write it for myself anyway, but if you guys want me to be able to, if you guys want to be able to access that, then let me know and I'll have a look into ways of maybe crowdsourcing that. Is it crowdsourcing or crowdfunding? You know what I mean. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get to today's lesson. So today's lesson is strong verbs, with the exception of strong verbs with an A or an O at the beginning. Strong verbs all follow the same pattern for declension. Is it declension? Decline? Anyway, I'm going to use the example of bera, to carry. You'll notice that there's a few more categories than in spoken English. This is because in Norn we have 3 types of they. We've got the masculine they, where all the nouns being affected by the verb are ending with a masculine ending. We have a feminine they, which is where all the nouns affected by the verb have a feminine ending. And we have a neutral they, or a unisex they, where all the nouns affected by the ending, affected by the verb, have either a neutral ending or it's a mix of masculine, feminine, neuter, or all 3. It doesn't really come into play in strong verbs, but it very much will come into play for weak verbs. So I'm just going to do this format for all verbs so you get into the habit of thinking in the terms of masculine they, feminine they, neutral, unisex they. Okay? So we have bera, to carry. Now, for a strong verb, if I'm talking about I carry, I the speaker, I'm going to carry, I'm going to drop that last letter off and I'm going to say eg ber, I carry. To say you, the listener, are carrying the thing, I will say, du better, you carry. For he carries, that's also including a masculine noun carrying. Han bearer, han bearer. Not all non-living objects are its. Some non-living objects will be he's. Some non-living objects will be she's, which is why I'm referring to it as a masculine noun or a feminine noun. For a feminine noun carrying something, it would be hunbearer, hunbearer. For a neutral noun carrying something, it's da bearer, da bearer. If it's a group including the speaker, regardless of gender of the nouns in the group, it is vi berra, we carry, vi berra. So, as you'll notice, it's the same as the original root verb. If the group is including the listener but not the speaker, it is di berra, di berra. If the group is comprised entirely of masculine nouns and it does not include the speaker or the listener, it is dir berra, dir berra. If the group involves purely feminine nouns and does not include the speaker or the listener, it is de berra, de berra. If the group involves either all neutral nouns or a mix of gendered nouns and does not include the speaker or the listener, it is de berra, de berra. So we'll go through that once more. We just dropped the last letter. Egg, ber. You, he, she, it. We drop the last letter and add er. So berer. We, you all, those masculine, those feminine, or they is simply the root verb. In this case, berra. So ber, berer, berra. Geef en vindelijk